Hey guys, hope you're all doing great. Today I've got maybe the most important video, not maybe, this is the most important video I've made in 2025. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to get into it because it might last a while. You need a pencil and paper, or you're going to have to go back because I'm going to give you some numbers, and you're going to need to figure out some percentages and stuff, which are easy to do, and my hair is wild. And I've got notes on my laptop, and hopefully I can do this without screwing the video up. But research shows that there's one habit done consistently can cut the worst diseases in our bodies out by 50% or more. And I'm not making this up. This comes from research. Heart disease, stroke, diabetes, even some cancers. The crazy thing is most men over 50 are not doing it. They're not doing it. We're not talking about another pill, some trendy diet, got nothing to do with that. This is something your body was built to do, and it can wipe out the silent killer behind aging. The silent killer behind aging is inflammation, especially chronic inflammation. And what we're going to do today is we're going to start working on getting that chronic inflammation out of our body. And when I get down to the end and I'm telling you what we're going to do, it may take you a while to get to this point, but you can wipe out 50% of the diseases in your body, and you can be a 70-year-old man that has the body of a 40-year-old man, or the insides of a 40-year-old man. You're going to, and shape-wise, health-wise, I mean, you will be like a 40-year-old man, somebody 30 years older than you. So let's get into it, and a real quick little, I messed up already. Real quick little, what's really killing us? I told you that it's the chronic, stuff in our body that comes with aging, the inflammation, chronic inflammation, loss of muscle, poor circulation, and insulin resistance. And this poor circulation in our body is huge, and I'm going to talk about that and how we're going to fix that. These little things, these four things, they chip away at your body until it just destroys your body. But you can fight back against all four of those, and it starts with building the habit that I'm about to share with you. It's not a magic bullet. It's not a secret. It's a combination of two things, but I'm only going to talk about one of them today. I talk about these things, but today I'm going to give you step by step exactly how to do and the speed you need to go at. Normally I don't talk about this. I got lots of videos about walking, and I tell you to take it easy. And you do need to take it easy when you're first starting out, but I'm going to give you, if there's a magic sauce, this is it. Of course, I'm talking about consistent movement and resistance training. Today we're only focusing on consistent movement. And here's why it matters. Daily aerobic activity. Notice I said aerobic activity. Walking, hiking, biking, cross-country skiing, whatever your favorite thing is. Rowing. You could be on a treadmill. Hopefully you get outside and do a lot of it. But what aerobic activity does is it improves your blood flow and reduces risk of disease. When you're idle, when you're sedentary, when you're sitting around, your blood thickens and rot happens. Yes, the inside of your body begins to rot because your blood is barely moving through your body. It's not circulating like it needs to. But, the rot never goes away unless you do something about it. So we got great news. Aerobic exercise clears the rot. It restores and repairs inside your body. A lot of you may remember back in the late 60s to 70s, aerobic activity was the big thing. There was books written about it, all kind of stuff. And I was big into it. I ran marathons, half marathons, 10Ks. I was running like crazy. That was the aerobic activity. And that was what they talked about back then as running. There's a lot of ways to do aerobic activity. It's not just about running, because I don't run anymore. Very little, a little slow jogging, that's about it. So aerobic activity improves the blood flow and reduces disease. It lowers your blood pressure. It regulates your insulin and blood sugar. It reduces your inflammation markers. This is huge. Inflammation is a mortal enemy in our bodies. Aerobic exercise changes the chemistry of your blood flow. It gets that blood moving it's just been barely flowing in your body because you've been sitting around hours and hours and hours during the day, or sitting behind a desk, or maybe you're retired and you're sitting on the couch. The blood, we want it to become anti-inflammatory, like a powerful healing bomb moving through your body. That's what we want. It reduces stress, and we know that chronic stress releases inflammation into your bloodstream. Inflammation just kills us, guys, and this is what we're going to work on. In addition to aerobic activity, you should be doing strength training, but for today, we're not going to talk about strength training because there is a group of you that are brand new. You haven't done anything in a long time, and right now, I want you to concentrate on one thing. I don't want you to think about strength training for a few weeks. Now, some of you are more advanced already doing stuff. Yeah, you can do that, but I'm going to tell you something about your aerobic training that you're probably not doing. And this is what cures that rot in your gut. So down the road, you're going to strength train 2 to 4 days a week. And you know why? It preserves your lean muscle, supports bone and joint density, helps metabolism and testosterone, helps fight frailty and injury risk as we age. But the combo of movement and the strength training attacks inflammation from both sides. It fuels your mitochondria, it supports hormone balance, and it keeps your body moving the way it was meant to be. Let me give you just a quick example of me. You know, when I started training consistently, basically when I really wanted to get that weight off that I had gained in a year and a half or so of retirement, I started walking daily. I was also doing a little bit of jogging back then, but I started walking daily. I started strength training 3 to 4 times a week. I was going to the gym, but I got to the point where I was just messing around in the gym. I wasn't serious. And also, I did faster walking. I picked up the pace, or jogging. I did like interval training, and I did it on the treadmill sometimes on incline, and that was huge. So my sleep improved, my joint pain disappeared. I've talked about this before. I had tremendous joint pain in my elbows, completely disappeared, and I had crazy energy. It shot through the roof. If you listen to my story, you know when I retired from the military, I was driving for Uber for a couple of years. And I was dead tired and drinking Mountain Dews and M&Ms. I had thrown all that crap away. And as I worked out and got stronger and better, and my body started healing itself, I had tremendous amounts of energy. I lost fat, I got stronger, and more importantly, I felt the way I had felt, 10 years before. So here's how we're going to start. First thing you always need to do, especially if you've got something wrong with you, is go see a doctor first. Go see a doctor first. Make sure it's all right for you to do this. Get you a pen and paper. I say again, get you a pen and paper. Or you're going to have to go back and watch this video again. Get you a pen and paper. Okay, you got it. First of all, this piece of paper or a little notebook is just for you and nobody else. I want you to just write down, you can think about this later a lot, but write down some vague goals. 6 months. You could make it like a 6-month goal, a year goal, 2-year goal, 5-year goal. You can make a 90-day, 6-month, year and a half, 2, however you want to do it. I don't care. That's up to you. Now what we're going to write down is how you want to feel. How do you want to feel in 90 days? How do you want to feel in 6 months? How do you want to feel in a year? How do you want to feel in 2 years? How do you want to feel in 5 years, regardless of your age? What would you like to be able to do that you can't do now? Is there something you'd like to do that you can't do now? Write it down. Maybe your big thing is getting weight off. What would you like to weigh in 90 days, 6 months, a year and a half? What kind of guy do you want to be? I know that sounds kind of strange, but just think about what kind of guy do you want to be? What kind of man do you want to be? Make a list of aerobic activities that you like. There's all kind of ways you can turn things into aerobic activity. You need to do one or two. Nobody wants, even though I walk every day, I do a few other things too on occasion. You don't want to do the same thing all the time. I hike, I love to hike, and that definitely gets your heart rate up. I'll do some interval training, super fast walking, I'll do a little jogging. But last, make a little note about how important this is to you, or if it's not important. If it's not important to you, that's okay. That's on you. Nobody's going to see it but you. If you don't really care about improving your health or anything, that's on you. Now, for the next month, here's what I want you to do. I want you to commit to doing some kind of aerobic exercise 6 days a week. I don't care what you do. We're not lifting weights right now or doing any kind of resistance training unless you just want extra credit. But 6 days a week, I want you to get the structure in your head. Think of exercise like you just got a new job. When we had our jobs, you knew we had to show up. When I spent all the years I spent in the military, I couldn't just take days off. You have to commit, and you have to go to work each day. Sometimes you go to work sick. You go to work when you don't feel like it. But you went to work every day. That's the kind of commitment you have to have for the next month. For 1 month, don't worry about strength training. None of that. Don't worry about time. I'm going to tell you this is not going to take you much time, but 6 days a week, and you can rest on the 7th day. Make an appointment in your calendar. If you got a calendar, hey, make an appointment in it. Because if you do things at the same time every day, you're more apt to do it. You want it to become automatic. You don't want to have to think about it. For me, working out is automatic. I know I'm going to work out before I even get up. I know I'm going to work out the next day before I go to bed at night. I don't care if it's pouring down rain like it did here for 2 days. Well, we had a typhoon here in Vietnam. I'm walking around this little tiny room. I was using my bands. I was doing isometrics. I was doing different things. Start slow, slower than feels good if you are new. And hold at that level until you can get your feet under you. Because I'm going to try to get a little sweat going. But I'm telling you, and most places now in summertime, and all you got to do is walk outside and get a little sweat going. But if you start off too hard, which most people do, most men over 50 do this, you're going to get so sore that you can't do anything for 2 or 3 days. You're going to be tired. You're going to be aggravated. You're going to quit. Start off SLOW. Like I say, slower than feel good. So here's what we're going to do. I don't care if you walk, if you ride a bike, if you row, if you're on a bike at the gym, if you cross country ski. I don't know anywhere where there's snow now to do that in the U.S. Treadmill, etc. Do 10 to 30 minutes a day for a month. 6 days a week. 6 days a week. Just move. If you can't do but 10, just do 10. The first 2 or 3 minutes, you're starting off, if you haven't done anything in years, you're starting off very slow. It's like a warm-up. And after 2 or 3 minutes, increase the pace if you can. You may not be able to, but increase the pace if you can. When you're finished, cool down, maybe stretch a little bit, hydrate, rest, because tomorrow you're going to do it again. The day after that, you're going to do it again. The day after that, you're going to do it again. And someday in there, probably Sunday, you're going to take that day off. Second day. This isn't complicated. It just needs to be consistent. You got to get the structure, the discipline. You got to get it. Second day, do the exact same thing. If you feel good, go a few minutes longer or pick up the pace a little. Very little. Don't overdo it. Get hurt. Get sore and quit. What we're trying to do is get younger next year. We're not trying to get younger tomorrow. Now, some of you are going to be improved tremendously by Christmas. People who start out slowly with an exercise program, they slowly, and then it kind of takes off. And a lot of you by Christmas will already be younger. And some of you will definitely be younger a year from now. So here's what we're ultimately trying to do. This is why I tell you to get the pen and paper. We're trying to get our heart rate up to 60 to 65% of its max and level off, and try to stay there in the beginning for 10 to 20 minutes. Having said that, you're not trying to get there yet. You may be months and months away from getting there. For some of you that are already working out, you might just be a few weeks from getting there. But I'm going to tell you how we get there, how to figure it up. And like I say, in the beginning, once you get a baseline of aerobic fitness and you start improving and you know about your heart rate and you got a way to measure your heart rate, you can keep it getting up, getting a little faster, and you can get up doing this 10 to 20 minutes a day. That blood starts circulating like it's supposed to. The rot starts getting out of your body. As new cells develop, they peek around and they say, hey, this cat's doing something. He's working. I'm going to hang out here for a while. And everything starts getting better in your body. Now, like I said, it may be months before some of you can get to that, to 60 to 65% of your maximum heart rate. The ultimate goal, long term, whether it be 6 months from now, a year, 2 years from now, is to do 45 minutes of long, slow aerobic activity at 60 to 65% of your maximum heart rate. And doing that 3-4 days a week. That's down the road. We'll add strength training to this, resistance training to this in a few weeks or a month. Everybody's a little different, but first we just concentrating on moving our body. All right, and this is going to improve your health drastically. Now, how do you calculate your maximum heart rate? You better put this on hold, or you're going to have to go back and review it and write this down. First of all, they have heart monitors now, and I got a link from Amazon. Of course, if you buy some, it doesn't add to the price. I get a couple of cents. They don't pay you very much, but every little bit helps. So, to figure it out on your own, get your age, write your age down. Take 70% of your age. So your age times 70%. Subtract that number from 208. Subtract that number from 208. All right? So if you're 80 years old, multiply that times 70%, and your number is 56. So take 56 and subtract it from 208. That equals 152 is your estimated heart rate. So you're 80 years old, you multiply that by 70%, you got 56, and you multiplied 56 from 208, and you got 152. And I'm just going to tell you straight off the bat, if you're 50 years old, you don't have to do the math, your max heart rate is 173. But guess what? We can't exercise at max heart rate unless we want to blow our heart up. That's for sprinters, and we're not doing those sprints here. We're not in the Olympics. We're not trying to get there, not at this point. So we can't exercise. So that's where the 60 to 65% max heart rate comes in. So if your max heart rate, if you're 50 and your max heart rate is 173, you need to multiply by 60% and 65% and try to stay in that range. Ideally, 6 months, year and a half from now, if you can get to that for 45 minutes at a time, you're going to be in the top 10% of the people in the world in your age group. Probably, I take that back, you're probably going to be in the top 1%. Now, for me, I'm 67. I had a birthday 2 days ago. Man, time's flying by. Only got about 30 good years left. So 67 times 70% equals 46.9. It don't matter if you round up or round down, don't worry about it. So I take 208 and I subtract the 46 and I get 172. And then I multiply that by 60% and 65%, and my maximum heart rate that I want to work towards getting at is I want my heart rate to be between 97 and 105. And you can get the watches or things that go around your chest, all kind of things that you can just look down and you can see where your heart rate's at. And you really need one to keep up with this. Now, let me kind of wrap this up, take away. If you got any questions, put them below in the comments. Please leave a like if you like this video. Subscribe if you're new. Men over 50, we don't need more supplements. You don't need a supplement stack or something. There's a few things I tell you that I take, and you probably have a few things that you take, and there's just a few things we really actually need, and nothing else. You need a routine that works for your body, not against it. Movement, strength, recovery. Movement, strength, recovery. That's the path. That's the real anti-aging formula. But we will add strength training to this in a later video. So if you don't take this seriously now, your future self will wish you had, and you'll be wishing you had. And like I said, I'll add strength to it later. If you found this helpful, give it a like. Here's the question I got for it. Are you going to work on this? Let me know in the comments if you're going to work on this. Figure out your max heart rate and get up to it. If you're brand new, are you going to walk 6 days a week or ride the bike 6 days a week? Whatever it is, are you going to do it 6 days a week? So, hey, till next time, which will probably be tomorrow, stay strong, keep moving, and I'll see you on the next video. Good luck. We got to get after it. We got to really improve ourselves. We got to get that rot out of our body. Mike Norris, and I'll talk to you later.